Well, earlier today, we showed you the story of Mayor Brad Hendrickson, who spent almost a year and a half rescuing hundreds of civilians on the front lines in Ukraine.
Our James Corrigan has now part 2 of our conversation with the man known as Bakhmut Brad and his current living situation, which you may find surprising.
They say home is where the heart is. But while Brad Hendrickson's heart may still be in Ukraine, his home here in Buckfield will take a bit of effort before he can rest his head.
I got the bench seats out, I got the floor and other rubber coating and so forth lifted, insulation that had been collapsing and so forth. We pulled all of that out and chucked it, kind of getting down to at least a somewhat more of a kind of raw skeleton to work with and make some decisions on.
The decision that led him to this point was the one to leave Ukraine in July after nearly a year and a half. In March, Bakhmut had largely been taken by Russia, forcing the man, now known as Bakhmut Brad, to flee. With few other options outside the city, he knew it was time to go home.
It's certainly been very hard. It also became clear that it was time. The war is not over by any means, but my role, my chapter, that kind of urgency of need and scarcity of folks who were available to go in and take care of that, I think that chapter of Russia's invasion has at least been brought to more of a standstill.
Brad came home to very little, but not when it came to the number of people willing to help him secure his future, including Seth Warren of Buckfield, who says he was inspired by his faith to allow Brad to place his bus in his backyard.
The church, one way we stay relevant is by serving and looking for those that are in need and doing what we can to help, and that's exactly what Brad was doing in this case.
A couple churches that have been a real support. Free Grace in Lewiston. Per Almquist is the pastor there. They pitched in money for diesel and repairs and so forth along the way. Josh Hill is the rector at St. Albans Episcopal in Cape Elizabeth. He's been another voice of me processing things out loud. I've been very grateful for that community's ongoing support.
Brad now intends to complete a long-awaited bachelor's degree and become a chaplain for the National Guard. His school bus home, when complete, would become a money-saving means as both his home and his transportation. His service will continue, but not far behind lingers the memory of those who continue to serve in Ukraine, along with the ones with nothing left to give.
There was a British guy named Andrew Bagshaw. He and I had gone out a few times together, same roads we were on, same area and so forth, just different kind of luck of the draw. There was a very serious reality that you saw, that you knew, that you felt frightened at times and lucky and very focused on doing all you could to keep yourself safe, keep those in the vehicle safe.
That reality remains the same for the millions who remain in Ukraine fighting for their freedom. The war is far from over, and while Brad Hendrickson's role in the fight may be over, he says the cause of the Ukrainian people is the cause for all nations to take up.
If we have this strength, it won't do to let the person wounded by the side of the road to pass by and say, well, I have to be on to my own personal project. That level of cruelty, of attack and assault, we're on the hook in some way, somehow, to speak to that, to work hard to stop that. There is no other way to stop Putin's agenda here and his forces here. There's no other way to stop them than to stop them.
And that was our James Corrigan reporting tonight. Brad is currently looking for any assistance to helping to renovate his bus. He says any welders or anybody that's just willing to pitch in can reach out to him on Facebook.